things I don't see is that I have my videos longer now. No recent broadcasts. Streaming thing now.
Roll up and now, see you from afar, got my thoughts in the sky. Where we used to kiss, sunshine, shit, and why you gotta call me every day, pretend you my baby. I see more real out there lately, it's crazy. Yeah, we could be the same as we claim in this kingdom shit and keep it tame. Come on, baby girl, we're not the same. Two different speeds, but we keep it one lane.
Going on balls.
Yeah, what goes around comes around. Keep 100, y'all. Do this for my soul like a dog. Put the stereo on your hands in the air.
Obsidian. Left. Working on time blocking. It's all going to be in a chorus that comes up in a long time. That's the bed 7 waveforms. Personal receipts. I really don't need that though. That'll be in my inbox. Time blocking. Okay. I always think that, like, hey, this famous person does it. It's like, who actually cares? Anyway, And lots of times to say, hey, this famous person does it, here's what they do, and you think, man, that's just like, I could never actually do that. That's way, like, they have all this money that I don't have, something like that, right? So, a little bright. So anyway. Like this right here, like break your tasks. Like instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna do an hour on email, saying like, you're gonna like 5 minutes for this email, right? Yeah, I think that's dumb. It's like too fine grained. You know, Cal Newport says that too. Like, have an email thing, and like, here's like, just do your email during that time. Don't like schedule 3 minutes for this email, 8 minutes for that one, because you don't actually know how long most of them are gonna take, really. That's actually really important. All tasks aren't equal, and you can't do any task at any time. I do much better at some tasks early in the morning, and some tasks are better done in the afternoon. So that's important for like lots of stuff, right? You just can't. Like my day starts better when I start reading than when I do other stuff. Just remembering that. I know why my camera is off. I do know why. Adjust webcam settings. Where'd it go? Webcam settings. Show the settings panel. I can see I'm like way too bright. Aperture priority. Better. Way better. That's why my camera's off. Just as I was about to start streaming, my power died in the house, so I had to start again. And that didn't start up automatically. So anyway, back to this. I think I have chat set up properly now. If you've got, looks like. If you got questions, put them in. See what I can answer as you go. Looks like it's working, at least for me. It's gonna restart. Oh yeah, it says the sync. Sweet. All right. I don't know if the audio is too loud for the music too. Voice volume is a bit low. It's 100%, it says. So I'm gonna try to bring it closer. I have actually other settings on the mic, but they bring in a lot of other noise. So this is supposed to be like the one that just gets me only and doesn't get a lot of everything else around me, which I know is quieter. See if I can adjust that better though. Input. Input volume level. Is that better? Music is slightly loud. Okay, cool. We'll try that too, Vinny. It's down to like 10%. 3%? 2%. Hopefully that's better. Maybe that does better on the voice. Yeah, I'll try to talk louder. But then you might just hear some other people around me too. Music is quieter. Voice is up, I hope. Let me know if that made a difference. Or not. You might get to hear more people around me though. Like my wife walking back and forth through my office. Which is cool, as I'm sure she's wishing I wasn't talking about her. It's great now. Perfect. Thanks, Alexander. Okay, back to this. Time blocking is what we're working on. If you have other stuff, like I got carpool and time sectors coming up. So if oh, she's shutting me in here now. But if you have other stuff that you think might be relevant, drop it in and I'll see what we get to in here too. So I'm not hoping to get through everything, and on my list there's a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping to get through some of it today. So another way they say here to look at it is eat your frog, which is out of eat that frog. I don't know about this doing your hardest task every day first thing. I don't know about that. My hardest task is not reading in the morning, but it's the thing that sets me up for the rest of the day best, to read for a little bit first thing in the morning. So yeah, and that sucks right now with construction next door because I've got to record early. Thanks, Vinny. Have a good one. Do I have Pomodoro link? Nope. What does it say here? I think that 25 minutes is the best spot to start. I like that when they say track your time blocks. article. That's it. Using your phone on a break means it's not a break. Don't I have this already in my thing? Brain doesn't recharge if you use your phone on break. Let's look that up. There it is, right there. Oh, I have this. Nope. I'll put this one in here too. You know what I should have done? I should have said in Pomodoro timers, and what was that? Ultradian rhythms. That's what we wanted, and the synopsis of that one is there you go. Saying what I should have done is, let's go to taunt first. I don't know what it is. That's it right there. I need to keep this snippet around so I can have it. Let's go back here. I don't actually know where it is on YouTube. I guess I could look up the tweet too, couldn't I? And this is the fastest way to find my tweets. Copy URL. Did I copy their YouTube URL? Yep. I should really just keep this like back here though. Should drop that in the Obsidian channel because I'm sure Obsidian people will at least be mildly interested in that. Downlink updates. There you go. Mic should be better in my way now. Come on, Discord. come back to that another time, maybe. Back to this, though. And I can kill the search. I was on. Oh, of course, I can't find the thing I was on. I was on time blocking. What it is and how to do it. There we go. I actually like to leave often like an entire time block open. So this is a calendar. Jump to next week. So when I plan next week, oh, I know it's not filtering. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not showing my standard stuff. It should be. But like I'll often do like a time block. Monday, see Tuesday was left empty. I time block Wednesday. Thursday only had a little tiny bit, and then even this afternoon it didn't have that much in it, just because I knew that the beginning of the week stuff would carry over into next week. There you go. Headphones turned off. They don't pick up that Restream is sending this feed to me from everywhere else, because my audio on the computer is actually getting sent to Restream. I like to book like 60% of my week, and that's the big thing. Don't like theme days. I'm not going to write that one down at all. Yeah, they say an hour each day for unexpected tasks. I kind of do that too. I kind of leave myself through 4 hours in the middle of the day to do nothing. I work from like 5 to 9 and then take from like 9 to 1 off and then come back from like 1 to 4, usually. I think I forgot my computer restarting. I forgot to start my timer again. Content publishing. How long am I streaming now? What are we doing here, Ron? We are doing a research session focused around time blocking so that I can like have it for an upcoming time blocking course. I'll just say start at 1300. Start. I don't think it's been that long, but still. And showing it helps me just stay focused. So you get to enjoy it too and get some of the research. And if you have other information, that's great. Other things that you think would be relevant, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, mostly I saw Ali Abdal do this where he like streamed a study session. So yeah, we're looking at time blocking. I'm going through all my DEVONthink notes. I actually separate collection and processing. So I collect all one shot and then I'm processing now. So we'll see. And recommends a bunch of stuff. DigiCal, great. Clockify, of course, this is their site, their article. So of course they're going to recommend their tool. And their tool's really good. Okay, Google Calendar. Anydo. I don't actually care about the apps so much. At least not at this point. I want to see like the science, the behind time blocking, what's important. Fantastical. Great. DigiCal. Things. Jort. It's ugly. I'm not going to put that one down at all. And time blocking is management for you, yes. Okay, well, we're done with that one. Yeah, so Ron, if you have questions too, feel free to ask them about, well, besides just this. Are we going back to this? Increase productivity by time blocking from Monday. I don't care about your cookie settings. This is my Zettelcast and top note template thing. Ultimately, the goal is to take this upper note here, and this will turn into like my whole course eventually, or like all my notes. I'll collect and I'll actually pull pieces out of all the notes I'm taking, and then I'll put them in that, and then I'll actually write the course for Skillshare for the time blocking course eventually. It's hot. Plan to go, I don't know, for another half hour, maybe another hour. See how hot my office gets. Because there's too much construction noise back there. It's kind of like a Pomodoro method, just scheduling it. Doro timer. Like, I think they just work together. Is mostly what I think. My garage door work for me. My garage door is open slightly, actually. Silver asked that. Yeah, so my garage door is open just like a crack. It helps the wind go through, but I have this door shut because there's too much construction noise back there. And I don't want that. I got kids and I fidget with a Rubik's Cube, so you'll hear that as I'm reading sometimes. And kids get picked up from school in half an hour. So that's maybe when I'll stop to go pick up my kids from school. I like that. Time blocking means you're not being defensive. I was hoping I actually link to the Cal Newport article, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like we're linking to Monday.com. I don't care about it. It's inbox 0. Just see if that quote actually comes up as something. Yeah, I've got this article saved already, though. Okay, so I'll come to that quote later. It's actually the second I've seen flow mentioned, which is by, I can't even say it. Is this Mahali or something? I've got the book somewhere here. So yeah, I think this too. Flow, time blocking really helps your flow because you know you're scheduled on it. Of deep work. Yeah. And I think all the points here are good, but I've already covered them in at least one other article, so I'm not going to take them again because I just don't need to. Pomodoro method of time blocking. From the one thing. not what I wanted. Oh well. Is there an actual author on this, or is this just the one thing site? If there's an actual author attributed, I usually put them in, but not if it's just like a, hey, our website wrote this. What's the software I use to insert metadata title author? It's actually a snippet, but so this up here, this is taught, and it's just a text grabbing thing. So I actually have it in here, Zet and BZ. So that's my book template and my other template, and all I do for that is the default keyboard text replacement stuff in here. That's all I do. And I can't do that right in here because it's Electron, so it's not a standard NS text field or something in macOS, so it doesn't work. I kind of wish they'd fix it, but they're not. You know what? Time blocking would go better down here, I think, as far as my layout, because my mic is kind of in the way of that lower screen. So what are our method of time blocking? Okay. I should maybe read. The one thing again, or at least look at my notes on it. Read it a while ago. It's the one thing. What's the one thing? Big question is, what's the one thing that if you did it would make all other tasks obsolete, basically? Right, so like if you do one thing that brought in $10 million, like do that thing, forget about the rest of the crap. That's like a big extreme example of it, but ultra working. Cool, I'll save that. Web archive, clutter. I should like markdown clutter free lately a lot. Add. So I'll come across that later. Thank you, STC. I do use that 25-minute block. You won't see it today, though, because I did it last night in an online meeting that I didn't need to pay attention to that much. So I had to go on the board, but I didn't have to, like, pay lots of mental attention, so. This will be a good one for... Alright, done with that one. Another one from them. There we go. On this note here, I listened to a podcast called Fun Fact, and talked about how like calendars are made. Like how the Gregorian calendar we use now is based off another calendar, which is based off another calendar, and that it was just the year 2020. I forget what it was, but like Tanzania or something. That's like a totally different calendar. And it's 7 years behind because ours, in theory, based on the birth of Jesus, but they figure it out to a different day about 7 years later. So it's like 2015 there now. Just wait till they get to 2020, right? It'll be a bad thing for them. And it's a long intro. Like, that's all intro about, hey, here's why time blocking is cool. Yeah, I know, Oscar, like that text replacement doesn't work. Yeah, take me there. I think I put the post up. Yep. So like if you use something like Text Expander Alfred, it'll work to do text replacement snippets fully in Obsidian. But that's an Electron issue, not a issue with, well, I guess it's an issue with Obsidian because it's in Electron. But I know that if you use Alfred, I think I can do Alfred snippets. I don't even know if I have any anymore though. Snippets, I think I can just use them. Features. Cheaper snippets. No, I do dead 8. I think that would work. Yeah, there you go. Alfred will work. It's just macOS native 1 doesn't work. And that sucks because macOS native 1 actually switches back and forth between iPads. So like that BZ and Z ones that I have work like this. Works on my iPad too in OneWriter. I got my book. Sitting right beside me at my desk. What was it again? That was one of my notes in this book. This is the book I'm looking at is The War on Normal People by Andrew Yang. We had something called something good. What's it called? Inferior good. So inferior good is, let me read it. I can just read it here. Time spent gaming is what's known in economic terms as inferior good. The poorer you are, the more of it you consume. And I actually wonder on my note, is that also true for like TV and stuff? So I actually want to put that down, that with my note here. It's especially good for those things that are, oh, I already had it in there. Inferior good. Thanks, Abdullah. I am doing pretty good today. It's not as hot in my office as I thought. Yesterday it was like crazy in here. It was like 39 degrees in here. So I actually vacated my office for the afternoon. And it worked about a kilometer away, down by the river. How are you doing, Abdullah? How are you doing, anyone? Hope you're having a good day. So that draws the division here between simply getting tasks done is not a goal. It's getting the right tasks done, really. DEVONthink is a pretty good book. I don't know that I follow everything in it anymore. I think a couple years on, reading other stuff, I don't think it's as good as I did when I first read it, but it's still a good book. I would recommend DEVONthink. idea of power hours. I don't think it's silly anyway, so I'm not going to keep that down. Cool. What book are you reading, Abdullah? Or what book, what literature notes are you taking right now? What time is it? 10. I probably got one more time for one more article, and then I gotta go pick up kids from school. I like that whole quote. My PhD is about urban informality and groups relations, an urban planning thesis. I really want to look into that. I have a book called, I have a long-term kind of reading list, I suppose, on the breakdown of community. She can hear my daughter crying. She doesn't want to go to the bathroom. And what is the book I have coming from Amazon now on community? No, it's not quite urban planning, but Amazon.ca. You can see all the things we ordered. Bowling Alone revised and updated the collapse and revival of American community. That's one that's coming. And the other one I have is, I can probably look it up here on my phone. On Book Track later. Oh, new iOS beta. I agree. The abundant community, choosing a satisfied life. It's the other one I've got coming. Oh, I own that one. I found that cheap for sale at the bookstore, at the library, sorry, for $1. I really need to go over deep work for this.
I'm not going to be gone for very long. Arwen, fine. No, like, this is naughty. I asked you to go to the bathroom and you didn't go. You went in and flushed the toilet. Well, I'm not going to be gone for very long. And you're not coming.
I'm gonna mute my mic for a minute. There we go, sort of. Literally, the school is across the street. When my window's open, I can hear the kids playing. So, I should actually take that other article. I can open a new tab, can't I? In DEVONthink. I can open this in a new tab. Open link in new tab. There you go. I also just want to link those. I'll come back to that later. To the other app, to the other article, and summarize it. Like that. I think that's the important part to recognize, like what actually happened during your time block. That would be interesting actually with Note Plan too, because it does a text file per day that's Markdown. It renders Markdown. I'm not sure if it actually is Markdown. It might be a text file, but still, that would totally work. Definitely have to find more than half an hour of music. Darius Furu. Did that actually play? Yep. It's just quiet at the beginning. You're welcome, Oscar. If you're still watching. I actually start to feel like the articles repeat themselves enough that I'm going to read through it and decide if there's anything in here first before I start taking any notes, because there is lots of stuff that just isn't worthwhile. Well, not worthwhile, it's just repeated, so I don't need the information again. That's the point, right? I think that's the big point here too, that time blocking means you don't have to ask what's next. Notes? I don't know. Why am I not attributing that to him? Because I've said many times, if you search my site, that I lose like 20% of my time. I basically said the same idea, so I'm not going to attribute it to him. It just reminded me of something that I have. Oh, my eye is killing me. put in questions here too, I guess. They want my course to answer. I think that's a question, right? What resources do I have as well? That's why when I start my time blocking, I always start with like my family and stuff first. Like my wife goes to work at 3 o'clock ish a lot of days because she's a figure skating coach, so she coaches once kids are out of school, which means I gotta be done work most days by like 3, and then I've got to do dinner, put all the kids to bed, stuff like that. I got 3 girls. You've only heard 1. 2 more are coming in soon. But that's just an important thing to note. And I put in that, I put in my runs, and I put in like all my personal stuff first, and then I put in work. I actually have I did a course for Asian efficiency a couple of years ago on time blocking, so I'm pulling some of that from here as well, like some of that just out of my mind as I go through this stuff. Yeah, it's lots. Keep that, but it's okay. It wasn't bad. It's just again I've read lots of stuff, so we're reading all time blocking stuff today, so nothing in there seemed revolutionary. I just have to do it. Do you guys want me to Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, if you're not feeling it, then don't do it. I just know... I didn't show up on my calendar. I actually need to reorganize my time blocks because they're not perfect right now. CBC board, yeah, I did that. I just know that, like, starting to read in the morning works, and this client is in Malaysia, so our time zones work best. And then I read, kind of restart my day. And actually, I was doing that. I've actually flipped these, so really this should be here. All. Sometimes run on that day. I don't always, but I go for a walk or something. My wife goes for a run and then I go for a walk. All. That's probably better. Patreon. All. Finish videos. All. And then sometimes I'll get a walk in around here after I get the kids out to school. That's probably my better time schedule. So I literally did that quick, and then I put in right, these are all breaks in the day, these blue things, that's my workouts. Except for Fridays because I run with a group. And then I get back to work at 1 o'clock for clients. And just client, right? So it'll be like writing and development, and then I usually leave the end of it. Research and clean up and plan next week. I'm going to plan my next week after, actually. This should just switch. Like, this is actually going to go here. All. So I'm replanning my time blocks as we go. I've been time blocking for like probably 10 years almost. So I feel like I can do it really quick and get it done without any issues. That's just how it goes. And this actually goes to like 7:30 is when I get back. All. And I have kids like skating for the rest of it. I think time blocking starts with a good plan. I know Cal Newport says a lot that if like life comes up, if you're just not feeling it, then stop and replan your time block. I'll see a lot of creative people say that, hey, like I only work when I'm inspired. Luckily, inspiration shows up at 9 o'clock every day when I sit down on my typewriter. Right? you just do it. It becomes your routine, and you just do it. We have 2 other kids coming home from school, so I may mute for a minute here.
Wash hands and we can have a snack and snuggle.
Evidently, my middle daughter fell asleep at school today. She stays up till like crazy late all the time, no matter what we do. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
What's wrong, sweetheart? Yeah, well, we need to go to bed on time at night.
Azalea wants someone to walk home with, and she also has like asthma, so we have to go and like fill up her water bottle and stuff. So she was okay to walk home with.
Oh, you have sand in your shoes. Where are you playing in your sandbox?
I like there's a few little tidbits in here I want to keep. So this is like that one. Let's do that. But I also know right here, if I try to save it with a colon, it won't like it. So let's go 11.
Use your hand washing kit today? No, you just use the school stuff? Okay. Let's take these things upstairs. I can't carry you up the stairs, honey. You're too heavy. Let's go wash hands and then we can have a snuggle.
It'll clearly work faster than my Mac wants to switch. There you go, switch. I should think my Mac with watch streaming, like my Mac is just slow, like running all my cores here, right? Well, whatever, 6, 7, 8 of them. Zero approach, the zero-based approach. Actually, time blocking always reminds me of zero-based budgeting, which Dave Ramsey teaches, where you give every dollar a job. It's just what it sounds like, right? So even Cal Newport would say, like, you schedule your inferior good stuff, right? I talked about that from this book here, which I'm blanking on the name, The War on Normal People by Andrew Yang. So fine, you want to do Twitter, go for it, but like schedule the time and then don't touch it anywhere else.
It's purple right now. You can do that. I can't carry you up the stairs.
Do you need me to come, Carrier? That's not supposed to happen. There you go, planning fallacy. Weird. To summarize. Bring planning fallacy into that course too. At least look at it and make sure that it applies properly. I think that's interesting when someone invites me to something, like, it's like, oh yeah, I could do that in 3 months, but we always assume we'll have more time in 3 months, and that's always just transferred. Like, would I do this if it was tomorrow? Would I do this if it was next week? And the answer is no, then I won't have more time later either. So I don't bother. It's a good, interesting idea here. It's like writing an article, right? It's easy to say, I'll write an article. I'll write 3 articles on that day, but then I know they actually take like 2 or 3 hours. So I planned 1 article in an afternoon. That goes the salient points into that for me anyways. Do you guys want me to drop the links for all these articles in here? I can do that. I'm already grabbing them anyways. Here's the one I'm reading right now. I just read. For those that are, yeah, you should see it in the chat, I think, right? All right, that's all I got today. Thanks for watching. You can follow the YouTube channel. You can subscribe on Twitch. I don't even know if that's the right words. I think that's it for today for research, at least for live streaming. I'm gonna carry my kid upstairs, I think, and then maybe keep working on it after. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I should be doing this every Friday, maybe a little bit in the morning, Eastern time, or Pacific time, probably around 10 to 12, and then maybe some in the afternoon from like 1 to 2:30 or 3, depending on how the day goes. Have an excellent weekend.